you think there is a situation where a libertarian could be for some intervention, basically?
Yes. For any kind of libertarian, classical liberal, the question with foreign policy is which course of action is going to most maximize liberty, both in the country that is potentially doing the intervening, in this case the US, for example, and the part of the world where the intervention might take place. Now, that should be the guiding principle behind what your foreign policy is. Now, what I would say, and I agree with a friend of mine, Randy Barnett, on this, is
he's been on the show.
There's nothing inherent or necessary about libertarian principles that means you must be a non-interventionist. What I would argue, and here perhaps I disagree slightly with Randy, is that the number of cases where the benefit to liberty will be so great that you would support intervention is actually very, very slight. I would apply something like a just war principle. You have to show that really the benefit is bound to exceed the cost, and that this is knowable, and that the intervention can be done in a way that doesn't systematically violate human rights. So that's quite a high bar.
Yeah, wait, let's pause there for a sec. How much does the benefit have to be for you and your society, not just the people that you're potentially doing
Well,
good for?
I think it's more a matter of the cost, because if you think about intervention in foreign parts of the world, one of the main arguments against that from a libertarian or classical liberal position is that it actually is bad for liberty back home in the country doing the intervening. To the extent that the United States becomes an empire, and it is an empire, let's not pussyfoot about this, that undermines republican institutions and liberty back home. And this is not a new phenomenon. Many of the things that led to the growth of the state in Great Britain were because of British intervention outside the rest of the world. The India office, which ran the Indian Empire, was our first big modern department of state, and then transformed the rest of government by its example.
So basically you do these things over there, wherever there is, and then you actually need more state power at home.
Well, not only that, it provides an example. So in order to have, for example, you need a really large military if you're going to have a kind of global interventionist role. That inevitably does things like increase the role of the military domestically, increases its purchasing power, its clout, builds up the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned against, has all kinds of bad effects. It also leads to the growth of a surveillance state. It leads to the growth of the police power of the state, which we spoke about earlier, which you might say is necessary in certain cases, but certainly not to the degree we've got it now. And it just also generally gives our rulers ideas above their station. Because if you have the mindset that, oh, we can go over and be this benevolent despot and transform the lives of these people in other parts of the world, this tends to naturally create a mindset where we think, well, there's these people here in our own society. They could do with our benevolent interference as well. And that's a very dangerous mindset.
Right. And somehow we always have money to do those adventures, but we never have money to help what's happening here.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Yeah, what could be happening there?
It benefits all kinds of people. I mean, the other quite shameful thing is that this typically involves sending young men from often poor backgrounds into harm's way, when the children of the people making these decisions are certainly not joining the military. And if they are, they're probably not going to be sent into harm's way in that way, which I think is seriously disreputable. So I think I wouldn't rule out that there are certain cases where an intervention could be on balance, beneficial for liberty both at home and in the place where the intervention takes place. But I think that's vanishingly, very low probability. There are very few cases like that in my view.